Come one, come all to a beautiful show. It's gonna be awesome and some other stuff. Some other musical stuff.
You Ghostnuts, motherfucker.
All right, welcome everyone back to another episode number 64 of the Ghostnuts podcast. How's the
We say
situation?
this every week. It's getting worse. Slowly, it's getting worse.
Numbers
and it's going to keep on getting worse.
Yeah.
It's going to ramp up there. I'm predicting a nice 500.
500 cases. Yeah, you got to get everyone to get that vaccine. You know, the expiry date's ticking. Anyway, just we'll get into a quick little update with what's going on, and then we'll sort of veer away from this COVID topic because it's been it's getting out of hand, to be as we say every week, it's getting out of hand. But
It's the same shit every week.
It's getting boring,
It's the same shit every week. You get little stories, little nuggets of information popping up here and there, but it doesn't change the foundation of information that we already know.
Or the agenda, it's these people that do their press conference every day. They might as well just put a fucking cassette radio, pre-recorded, just to say, this is what's happening, because it's the same shit.
Yeah, what do people care about now? They care about the numbers. It's become like a game like bingo.
Yeah.
Like when a fucking certain number hits, I told you so.
Here's your meat platter. I wish. A nice brisket.
Oh, slow cooked?
Oof, shut the gates.
Brisket or short rib though?
I'm going to go, maybe a short rib.
Short rib's king.
Anyway, yeah, so as here in New South Wales, first of all, Melbourne's back in lockdown.
What was that? What were they saying? 80% of the Australian population is in lockdown now?
60 to 65. But it's funny because Melbourne's plunged back into lockdown over 8 cases.
Well, it's a Delta variant. You got to get fucking locked down for that shit. But even if you're vaccinated, you still get it.
It's just
So will the lockdown end? That's a real question.
Well,
right?
here we go. We've got till the end of August here in New South Wales to see if the lockdown's going to end. My prediction is maybe not, because it depends on how many people get vaccinated.
Yeah.
To be honest,
It's like Tupac forecasted this in his freestyle rap battle with Biggie Smalls. It's like this shit never ends.
Yeah,
you can't touch my riches, even if you had MC Hammer and the ScoMo government bitches.
Who's Gladys and Palaszczuk?
Yeah.
Actually, Palaszczuk's left. Anyway, besides the point, but yeah, you heard it first from Tupac talking about the Australian government. So, the situation in regards to vaccine rollout seems to be...
It's not mandatory,
No.
but you got to get it.
You can come in the frame a bit. Yeah, but what's it called? So now, like we said, we've said this probably a month ago, but now you're hearing it from the government's mouth. We're not mandating the vaccine for essential workers, except for healthcare, whatever. Like, for example, food industry and airports and all that shit. However, it's up to your boss if they want to put in their policy to get vaccinated. Now you're seeing many big businesses mandating their staff to get vaccinated.
And if you do not agree to get vaccinated, you can be fucking fired, sacked.
Yeah.
And it's not unlawful dismissal.
No. So...
even though you're choosing not to get a fully tested, fully audited vaccine that has been reportedly... this isn't me fucking saying it's 100%. It's been reportedly causing issues and side effects.
Nuremberg Code, baby.
Doesn't mean shit it now.
Doesn't mean anything, because no one knows what it is, because they don't teach you that shit at school these days. But anyway,
it's gonna come around eventually. Get the jab, or you lose your job.
Do you remember this was when they started this whole, when ScoMo...
it is against human rights, but anyway.
Yeah. Do you know when ScoMo started this, when he came out, this was last July or August, whenever he fucking...
came out of the closet.
Yeah.
I'm coming out.
I shit my pants on the toilet. Anyway, what's it called? He comes out and he says, I'm going to incentivize people to get the vaccine. And the words, no jab, no job came out or some shit. So they didn't get into that detail. But now, bring in 1 year later, and it's sort of you can hear it, you know.
Well, we're seeing it firsthand. Personal experience, first-hand experience, second-hand experience. People are basically being told, look, it's going to come to a point where you won't be able to work here unless you're fully vaccinated.
Yeah. Why don't you go and fuck off then?
You'll go?
Big impact. Anyway, but yeah, so numbers getting up pretty much in New South Wales, and now it's all about the limelight is on the HSC students. So people in Year 12 who are going to be doing their final exams, they've opened up a center, an entertainment center. This is what they're saying. This health minister cunt, he was saying, you can be in the line of such stars as Keith Urban and Lana Del Rey and Pink, who have performed at this arena, and you can be the next star to get vaccinated.
Go for gold.
Go for gold, doing the country good.
What the fuck does that mean?
Fucking get a neck cunt.
He's got too much of one.
You know, they say, fuck you. You got a lot of neck on you.
Yeah.
He's one of those.
It's a red fucking
he's a
gelatinous ball of mass, that neck.
That's
anyway.
Okay, so that's just a little update of what's going on. We'll see maybe next week or the weeks to come what exactly is going to happen.
And if we still have a job. Because
so.
he ain't looking good. And also, I just noticed a comment from Jack Meoff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, commented on one of our YouTube videos. Just saw it right now, just before we started. And basically, he works in aged care, and his boss is telling him he's got to get the jab.
So what can we do for this bloke?
What can you do?
Have to look for a new line of work.
Essentially, or you got to find a doctor who will shoot that shit in the bin.
That's it.
And say you're vaccinated.
I need a doctor to bring me back to life.
And I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but I've spoken to a couple of GPs out there, and they're taking an objective view to this vaccination, right? They're not for, they're not against it. But I know of a couple in particular that basically collect blood work of their patients before and then after the vaccine, just for their own research and with the patient's consent.
Yeah.
And to, see if anything seems off. And they told me things look interesting.
Well, funny you say that, because I've heard first-hand information as well from people that have had slight side effects, but we knew this shit though. It's sort of a bit unfortunate that you have to hear it because you try and sort of tell people the situation, but
look, yeah,
if you make your bed, just sleep in it.
No, look, everyone's this is the beauty of freedom, right? Everyone's entitled to make their own opinion, their own choice.
Yeah.
So we're not condemning anyone if they get the vaccine.
No.
We're not condemning anyone if they don't get the vaccine. We're just condemning the fact that you aren't given a free choice in some circumstances.
Exactly. And also, just for those who, like we said last week, are going out dobbing on their neighbors and snitching.
Un-Australian, if you ask me.
It's just it's a bit sad, that you're actually doing that to
gives
your
me
fellow
Soros vibes.
Soros vibes, yeah. So it's a bit it's actually you're a bit of a sad cunt. I'm going to be straight up, we're meant to be here helping each other. We're all different here in Australia. We're different nationalities and different ethnicities, we're different people, but we are one. So,
and we are fucking many, but not really. There's 20 something million on this big land. So,
but the situation is, if we can work together, we can make things work out right instead of just being a fucking shit cunt.
If you want to do it right.
Beautifully said. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So what we wanted to talk about today was something that is getting shunned out.
Am I in frame or am I out?
No, you're good. Something that is getting sort of shied away. This COVID thing is covering a bigger picture, and we've had episodes in the past regarding the Great Reset, the Fourth Industrial Revolution. But if people are not sure about proof of these situations, for example, we've had COVID. There's the pretense for that was Event 201. The SPARS simulation. So what's next? because what else is COVID sort of false flagging or covering up? You have to look at the World Economic Forum. Like, I know we've talked about Great Reset things and stuff like that, but look at their schedule and their timetables of different, how do I say it? Well, simulations, but exercises.
Some people would say forecasted events.
Yes, or like exercises that they're conducting. You have, obviously, they met at Davos at the start of the year, and they have something, an exercise that was going to be performed in just a few weeks ago, called Cyber Polygon. So what exactly this is, Cyber Polygon, they've done it for the last 3 years. Pretty much cyber attacks in different parts of the world, different areas, different companies. And I can't remember what the first one was about, but I know the second one was about targeting different companies, on a cyber attack on different companies. Now, the 2021 is a cyber attack exercise for a cyber pandemic. So a worldwide cyber pandemic. So instead of targeting companies and areas, it's going to target the fucking world.
So it's a simulation of how the world will respond if the world's, I guess, what do you say, computer, internet services were attacked by a cyber virus. So a digital COVID, in essence.
Yeah, pretty much. And it confuses people with what exactly is it means like a digital COVID. But it's funny because the World Economic Forum said that COVID-19 was an anticipated risk. Did you know it was coming?
Well, Fauci did from the sound of things.
Yeah, well, like the everyday person.
No idea.
No idea what the fuck was going on. Bat soup.
I was scared of fucking swine flu. So I was hammering that bacon just to make sure, all pigs are eradicated.
That's it. And so now this is its digital equivalent, a cyber attack with COVID-like characteristics. Would spread faster and further than any biological virus. Its reproductive rate would be around 10 times greater than what we've experienced with the coronavirus. And that's direct quote from Klaus, give it to me, baby.
As he likes to be called.
Because he's quite the playboy.
He's quite the ladies' man.
Yep.
And the man's man. What a man, what a man.
And yeah, it's straight from his mouth. So what does he mean by this? Well, what does he mean by everything he says, this guy? Like, it's sort of, he's the guy that you're meant to be looking at what's going on when you don't want to know what's going on.
So it's like the evil, I don't know, it's like the Bond villain that gives away his plan.
Yeah.
Because he's so arrogant that he's going to pull it off before he actually does it.
That's it. But the difference with here and in James Bond, it actually goes ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so, okay. Things are, this cyber attack, as we call it, main sort of areas that it wants to attack is sort of economy, as we know. There's
that's one of the whole points that people put forward of COVID, right? To make the rich richer and the poorer poorer.
Yeah.
To segregate the classes, get rid of the middle class.
And also the breaking down of the food systems. Because at the end of the day, there's two things.
Toucan Sam can only make so many Fruit Loops.
That's it. So food and economy are is the way to go. All right, now
we've got a dead mouse on the table,
and we're not talking about the DJ. Not bad, actually. Not bad. All right. Okay, so this is forum. We'll discuss the cyber attack itself, which is the problem that will arise soon. So, yeah, coronavirus sort of, is the main topic that's going on. But think about other shit that could possibly, because at the end of the day, remember when Bill Gates said, you have to get ready for the next one. Remember when he said that?
And even Fauci said something similar recently, right?
Yeah. So it might not be a physical, like viral pandemic, but Bill Gates said, you got to get ready for the next one. It might be a cyber pandemic. But people are trying to understand what exactly is like a pandemic in the cyber world. People still believe that, in a way, man has control over
machine.
This
is like Terminator shit. Where's Skynet coming? Is Microsoft Skynet? Is that what we're looking at here?
Maybe. Or is it Sberbank.
Excuse me?
Sberbank. The key message voiced by the experts at World Economic Forum and other international platforms is that supply chain security is to become a major cybersecurity issue in 2021. Who is Sberbank? It's a Russian cyber company, I believe.
What's the MO? Modus operandi?
Well, they're the ones conducting these power outages. So they're conducting cyber attacks with the World Economic Forum so they can see how we can get out of them. Do you know how they always say in America, Russia's hacking us? Sort of like predictive programming.
Well, yeah, but that's like a valid exercise of finding like, flaws in a system.
Yeah.
But it's funny, when was this simulation supposed to take place? June, July or some shit?
Yeah, July.
Didn't we have like some internet server go down and fucking PlayStation servers were offline?
Yeah, a lot of shit.
A lot of shit was offline.
Yeah.
Pornhub was still working because they're just trying to deplete your dopamine levels, get you dependent on that fucking pornography, if you know what I'm saying.
That's it.
Stuffing that sausage.
For the wank bank. Anyway, and so the ever-expanding digitalization tightens the interconnectivity between people, devices, companies, and countries. Thus, the resilience of an entire system depends on the ability to each link with a chain to withstand threats of various grades. So everything's going to be connected. If it isn't already, it will be soon.
It's the whole Internet of Things shit as well, isn't it?
Something like that. So you have to look at people that attended last year's one just to get a little sort of rundown of who was there.
Yeah.
So obviously you had a Russian Prime Minister, you had Klaus Schwab, as we know, Tony Blair.
That bloke's irrelevant. Get out of here, Tony Blair. What have you done?
And
mate?
we'll get to a quote that he mentioned before, by big pusher of the New World Order. He wants a one world government badly for some reason.
Wants a bite of that Macron as well.
Maybe wants a bite of those fucking puffy dogs, if you know what I'm saying.
You're saying Macron has bitch tits?
I'm saying
Puffy tits?
he wants to get in with Prince Charles.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so and of course, different heads of big businesses, CEO of CyberPeace, which is funded by Microsoft, Facebook, MasterCard,
It's a shit name, Cyberpeace.
In order for there to be
Very unoriginal.
a fall, there needs to be peace to connect everyone back to the Matrix, allegedly. Okay, so here are some direct quotes that were mentioned in this simulation. Some say that a cyber pandemic is an inevitable consequence of the quickly developing high-tech world in which we live, but it's still fair to point out that 2021 is the year that many have been predicting for the financial destruction of big institutions that will lead to a new economic system that would align the Great Reset. Oh no, but the Great Reset's a conspiracy. They're fucking saying it.
It's true, right? When you look at things, people get paid in their bank account direct deposits. Most people, right? Unless you're doing cashes on the side.
Latte.
Most of your payments are done digitally with a card. You never physically really touch your money, right? So say if a cyber attack happened to suck up all the bank's fucking resources, liquidity, all the money that they've got stored, you're broke, essentially.
That was a nice Dyson suction.
I've been practicing.
Okay.
I'll show you later.
Okay, no worries. Off when the camera's off.
When the camera's on, I like to...
Maybe on our after hours.
Ghostnuts only fans.
Ghostnuts only fans, yeah. Okay.
My mouth is only so big.
Alright, but like as you said, another direct quote, when the world's most powerful people, such as members of the World Economic Forum, desire to make radical changes, crises conveniently emerge, whether a war, a plague, an economic collapse, that enable a reset of the system, which is frequently accompanied by a massive upward transfer of wealth, which is what you said. Get rid of the middle class, rich get richer, mega corporations controlling everything. One of those.
Imagine a world like you were throwing out a hypothetical scenario with, say, you want to lay it out to the people about Amazon, just quickly.
Should I get the since MGM owns is owned by Amazon. Now we get like the trailer voice. In a world where technology owns you, lives you, is you, you will be... Nah, fuck it. Bad for the larynx, but anyway. Okay, so there's a situation where there's an Amazon town. Won't you take me to Amazon town? Yeah, and in this Amazon town...
And Bezos can keep an eye on everyone. One eye's looking that way, the other looking that way.
Sleep with one eye open, as Metallica said. Gripping your pillow tight.
Oh, fuck.
Anyway.
Biting your pillow.
Okay, so you got Amazon Town. Amazon Town has Amazon real estate. It's built its own buildings. It's got Amazon car rentals. It has Whole Foods.
It also has those shopping... Not really a center, but like a little grocery store where no one, like, you know, just walk in and it scans and you pick whatever you want and you walk out.
Yeah. So you got
Not sure that made sense, but yeah.
Whole Foods is owned by Amazon. You got your media, Washington Post is owned by Amazon. You have entertainment,
services,
Amazon Prime, now MGM, owned by Amazon. So you got everything Amazon related. You have you work for Amazon. You work for Amazon. All right, because Amazon owns everything. You work for Amazon. You get paid by Amazon. You then pay Amazon for your rent of property. You pay Amazon for your rent of car. You pay Amazon for your food and groceries. You pay Amazon for your entertainment. You're eventually paying back to them. So it's like a cycle. It's just recycled.
It's an ecosystem of Amazon.
Yeah, like an Amazon jungle.
Welcome to the jungle. We got... I can't link it to anything. They do have fun and games. You can buy them on Amazon.com.
That's it.
Please don't.
Yeah, so it's going to get to that point. But you need to see, like, these trends that are going to be coming through. Like this cyber...
So we're essentially going to be a Amazon product is what you're saying.
Yeah. You got... So what exactly impact is this Polygon cybersecurity training exercise going to do? What are its main ideas? Like these trends that they have include a desire to immunize the internet with digital antibodies to protect society and cyber attacks and misinformation by exploiting ransomware attacks and a public health crisis to justify centralization of power and control, as mentioned before. But how the fuck are you going to immunize the internet with digital antibodies?
Well, they just said by centralizing the internet.
Yeah. So even when you feel free, like purchasing a domain as your own, you're actually buying a domain to veer away from social media because you're going to be banned or some shit.
Yeah.
And you have your own sort of place. Even then, you're going to get shut down.
It's funny because you're talking about Amazon ecosystem, mate. If the Amazon web servers went down, there goes the majority of the internet.
Yeah. Funny how maybe they own the ecosystem.
Jeffrey.
Which is what the situation is. Number two, and these are like the big things that they got picked up by this simulation. A demonization of cryptocurrencies in favor of central bank digital currencies where all transactions are recorded on a centralized ledger to have ability to grant permissions on purchases, which further consolidates power.
See, look, we're planning to get a cryptocurrency expert on eventually, sometime soon. And but look, cryptocurrency can be used as a means of generating wealth for yourself and breaking free of this financial system. Also, it's a way of kind of hiding your purchases if you use certain cryptocurrencies, so the government can't really track what's going on, good or bad.
Yeah.
Like for example, there's one cryptocurrency that's private, right? And you can use it to buy insulin in America. So if you were to buy insulin like without cryptocurrency in America, you'd be paying like 10 times the price than if you were to be buying it with a privacy coin.
Yeah.
Online.
Interesting. Because at the moment they are decentralized, but is there a...
And also there's some weird shit going on. I haven't looked into it because it's hot out the oven. But apparently there's some crypto law legislation trying to be pushed through in Congress. I don't know the exact specifics, but basically people who are for cryptocurrency are saying it's not a good thing and to oppose it. So yeah, I don't know, some shit's going down. I think they're trying to like tighten the tax and regulations on crypto in the US.
Interesting. And the third thing is a closer merger of corporation and state as the solution to any given crisis, be in cybersecurity, climate change, or COVID-19, without even being put to vote by the will of the people. Mashallah.
Mashallah.
Anyway, so these are like what their main three outcomes was. And discussions coming out of Cyber Polygon 2021 concluded with a desire to immunize the internet and demonize cryptocurrencies and prop up centralized systems, as we just mentioned. So the public-private solutions presented suggest that the World Economic Forum and partners are leading society down a path towards a greater centralization of power, surveillance, and furthers the Great Reset agenda. Which you'd expect if you knew like the different...
But what is their agenda?
Well, according to Schwab, we have to protect ourselves not only against the virus, we also have to develop the ability to withstand a virus attack. In other words, masks are not sufficient. We need vaccines to immunize ourselves. The same is true for cyber attacks. Here too, we have to move from simple protection to immunization. We need to build IT infrastructures that have digital antibodies built in inherently to protect themselves.
How does... fuck, man. How does that make sense? Like, how does that translate?
It's
Antibodies in a computer.
Yeah,
so you're gonna...
It's hard to translate it to
From biological to digital.
Yeah. But apparently it's obviously plausible and it's needs to be done. Is this to stop hackers?
Was it to control you?
Bit of column A, bit of column B, you know?
You can't be hacked, you can't be controlled if you have no freedom.
Exactly. So according to one World Economic Forum report, a war on cybercrime would easily become a war on internet freedom, as you said. And the solution could lie in developing and disseminating countermeasures as threats emerge, or in other words, building a digital immune system for the internet. Immunizing the internet with digital antibodies, according to Schwab's latest speech, requires public-private collaborations where governments are limited in the knowledge and power corporations can sweep to fill the void.
How the fuck do you create digital antibodies?
It's going to be a heavy project. And as we talked about with the cryptocurrencies, the World Economic Forum and its partners do not like decentralized cryptocurrencies. Instead, the unelected bureaucrats prefer the centralization of consolidation of power that central bank digital currencies can provide. Therefore, World Economic Forum members would take any opportunity to demonize decentralized cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. At Cyber Polygon 2021, the globalists took aim at the ransomware as a service business model as it means to target cryptocurrencies more broadly.
I think we need a cryptocurrency expert on, like ASAP, to try explain this shit.
But it's pretty interesting, right? And it further goes when it comes with the currencies in regards to this Cyber Polygon shit that happened last. Yes, another thing discussed in this Cyber Polygon thing was new world, new currency. So trying to restrict things on restrict purchases, for example. Oh, you want to you want to what's it called? Go get something to eat. Like you're a parent, you want to feed your child, but you don't want them to go to get fast food. All right, I'm going to bar with this new digital system, bar fast food from this $50 I've given to my kid.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's quite futuristic and sort of in the sense that like it bans you from like
you can restrict access to certain things.
Pretty fucked up, right? Yeah. So, and another thing is this whole Internet of Bodies stuff.
ILB, man. I'm not sure what the fuck that accent was.
So it's sort of trying to get like merging man with machine, like our mates, the Terminator, and like that we are seeing like future with the human bodies physically connected to all internet at all times, thus making human beings themselves vulnerable to cyber attacks.
Whatever happened to that Google Glass shit? Remember one stage was being pushed hard? Like you'll have a pair of glasses connected to the internet.
I remember.
And they had a fucking little press conference and they fucking live streamed them skydiving down into the fucking arena.
I don't know, but
What happened to that shit? Google Glass.
all I know is this is like another one of those Tupac songs when he said electronics all through your body blows like a 12 gauge shoddy. So another.
That one's reaching a bit, but we'll go with.
Yeah. Anyway, so what's it called? Yeah. So look, things like this are. I'm not gonna say inevitable because it's pretty much there. It's gonna happen. Like they're doing simulations for it. However, you can see today with the whole digital health pass in like Europe, and everyone going crazy over there when that
Kicking up a storm, lighting shit on fire.
officially kicks in. And back to our good mate Tony Blair, who said in last year's Cyber Polygon, digital ID for me is to a very big part of the future. Inevitably, governments are going to move to this direction. Absolutely flawless.
Seems very sure of himself, like it is guaranteed. Its foundation has been laid already,
Yeah.
So
And another one, quick one, according to Politico, Biden and friends are also planning to engage fact checkers more aggressively and work with SMS carriers to dispel misinformation about vaccines that is sent over social media and text messages.
it's happened.
It's going to ramp up even more. But yeah, that's just I'll put in the show notes some other stuff of like a little timeline of what's to come. But
Also, if there's a little interesting little mind map kind of thing on the World Economic Forum's website,
Yeah.
have a link in the show notes, and it's literally got a fucking outline for everything, different strategies for them to deal with COVID-19. Like, and I can't explain it because it's so vast, but check the fucking mind map on the show notes. I'll just give you an example. They've got fucking details to deal with misinformation, to deal with vaccine fee, to deal with technology, 5G, how it's going to interact with COVID, drones, fucking so much shit, religion, racism.
So
Just check it out.
everything that's
They've thought of everything.
yeah, so
They've
every
thought of
possible
everything.
like outcome and everything that's been happening within. Look, I'm just going to say for the last 2-3 years, but even before that, like they've got a layout, a plan of what will happen, and they even know what the outcome is and what we're going to do about it, as in the World Economic Forum. So they know that everyone's going to riot and revolt. However, what is going to be their excuse to go around it? Because they had a whole plan for
They have a response for every reaction.
every reaction. 5G, like what they're saying about drones, they're going to have fucking drones administering vaccines as
Imagine
well.
that, you're just flying, drone scans you, no vaccine ID detected. Comes flying down and just injects you.
Fucking in the ass.
Could be.
Like,
Like a
bee.
magpie.
I'll say like a
Like
bee.
a gay magpie. Coming for your ass.
Bitch. Anyway, and look, in saying that, any last minute things you wanted to...
There was a post, I have it in the show notes as well, go into it more detail. I don't have the time to go into it exactly here, but someone called Junkyard Sam basically posted a breakdown of how the World Bank took advantage, or maybe kind of could have orchestrated or helped orchestrate this event to essentially launder money for the elite. And I'll go into it quickly, but they basically had bonds and they had like a plan to called world pandemic bonds, right? In case shit goes, well, it did. Shit goes tits up.
Yeah.
They could have a plan for these low income countries. And there were some conditions that if a certain amount of people died in a pandemic, then they wouldn't have to pay the interest on these bonds and shit. And it happened, essentially. And it goes into the things that might have happened to cause this, like people being introduced into nursing homes with COVID, pushing them numbers up and shit.
Very interesting.
So yeah, a bit of salt for your cracker.
And in saying that, all our information can be found ghostnutspodcast.com. Took a little breather after last week's episode, like I toned down a bit. think I turned the fucking...
Turn the beat around, love to hear percussion.
Yeah, hit the fucking rant to 11.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm a bit
Chill panda.
Yeah, see, one of those ones.
Yeah. Anyway,
Just chill the fuck out. For myself because I needed to, and that's why I've got a different attack on this whole situation. Because at the end of the day, whatever happens, happens.
and if you had to say one message, one sentence to the people out there who are clinging on to guidance or hope or maybe a bit of wisdom, what would you drop on them? What would be your quote that I would read on your deathbed?
I was gonna say like not on my deathbed, but like just if there's if we've got a non-police organized protest coming up, you got to go to the city. Absolutely flawless.
Ghostnuts. Podcast boys.
Are they discussing this on the Ghostnuts podcast? Are you? You guys need to break this fucking down.
Get to the chopper! Kill your fucking selves, you fucking globalists!
We can't see them. They can't see us.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
God, I love those Ghostnuts.